Okay, today we're going to do an RCA clean on our little 2-inch wafers. RCA is developed by the RCA Corporation, and it consists of 2 or 3 basic steps. This, by the way, is our cleanest bench. It's 4 CMOS. Nobody's allowed to do anything on this bench other than RCA clean, as you can see. We've had to yell at numerous people over the years about keeping metals away from this bench. RCA processing only. Anywho, the first one is RCA 1. Recipes are right there. That gets your organics. Next one is this hydrochloric and hydrogen peroxide. That gets your metals. And then we got a little HF dip to remove the oxide that forms during the previous 2 steps with the hydrogen peroxide. So I'll show you how this works. It uses a lot of chemicals. See the volumes. I'm going to take half of these volumes because I'm just using 2-inch wafers, but then it occurs to me that they might not heat up. Alright, maybe I won't do half volumes. Okay, step 1, proper PPE. Hopefully you can hear me. It looks like you can. You can. Anyway, gloves that are labeled CMOS only get used on this bench. Step 1, I'm going to add water. Every container has its own label. It's only used for that chemical. Most of these containers are Teflon, except for this one. This is high density polyethylene, I believe. So, first, I need 4.5 liters of water, DI water. In each container. I decided I'd better use the whole batch instead of trying to do half volumes, because there's a level sensor in these very fancy there is a level sensor in these baths that will not allow them to be heated unless the level is at a certain point. So that means, despite the fact that I'm doing just these little 2-inch wafers, I'm going to use a ton of chemicals, unfortunately. Alright, there's 2 liters, or rather 4. In that bath. Now I'm filling up the second bath. I'm going to add some to the... So there's a dilute rinse in DI, or I mean in HF. Calls for 5.1 liters. I'm just going to go ahead and do 2.5. There's no level sensor on this bath, so I can do this one in a half batch just to save chemicals. These mixtures are used once and dumped out. Alright, now for the dangerous stuff. Ammonium hydroxide. So I need 750 milliliters of ammonium hydroxide, which is ammonium hydroxide. Slowly to the water. Okay. So now I need to get the hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, good stuff. %30 hydrogen peroxide. When this stuff is really pure, it's used as like rocket fuel, as an oxidizer for rocket fuel. It can be very dangerous. 750 milliliters of this as well. Alright, so I should be able to start heating this bath. This bath runs at 75 degrees. Alright, so I can take this off of hold and let that dude heat up. Now I need the same volume of hydrogen peroxide in the second bath, RCA 2. Okay, and super hard to see, 750 milliliters of hydrochloric, yes. Pretty cool looking. Huh. Pour it in slowly. Oh, we got smoke. Steam, rather. So you know your hydrochloric's good stuff. You add it to water and it starts steaming. It's BOE. Very dangerous stuff. It's got hydrofluoric in it. Stands for buffered oxide etch. I think it's ammonium fluoride was buffered with. Anywho, so I'm doing a half batch of this, so I need 450 milliliters. Okay. Again, most dangerous acid we have in here. This stuff will kill you dead. You won't even realize that you're exposed to it. Alright, last bath is ready. Pouring slowly. And we'll give it a good rinse. Although HF and BOE are so hydrophobic, like when you pour them out of Teflon, there's not even any beads of liquid left generally. Something about the electrostatic properties of HF, I guess, that's really unusual, noteworthy. It's very different from water. You can see I rinsed off that container with water and there's a bunch of beads on it, but not the HF. Alright, go put this guy away. Okay, I'm going to load my wafer carrier, 2-inch wafer carrier here. I think I got 6 wafers. These guys have just come back from ion implant. It was the second implant step. These got a lot invested in these wafers at the moment. The implant's several $100s. Okay, so we'll let that set. After it gets to temperature, I think it's supposed to be like 10 minutes or so in there. But it's not going to hurt if it goes a little long. So that's why I put it in below the set point of 75. Once this gets to 75, it starts bubbling at a pretty good clip. Kind of interesting. Okay, so now it's time for the second step. So we're going to come out of RCA 1, the ammonium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide solution. We're going to go into the quick dump rinser. And then we're going to pull off the oxide. Okay. That is formed. So, come on, quick dump rinser. Okay, QDR is done. Now I have very hydrophilic surfaces on my wafers. I don't know if you can see that, but so now what I'm going to do, go into the BOE. Alright. Got a little timer for that, preset to 10 minutes. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to do some cleaning. Jets of the jets of the bath were kind of made a mess. All right, so we're ready to take this out of the BOE bath. It's been in there 10 minutes. QDR again. This time I'll leave the lid on so I don't make a mess. So it comes out over here. Okay, pretty hydrophobic. It's a sign that you've removed the oxide from the wafer, is when the wafer surface is hydrophobic. Hit it with QDR. And after the QDR, we'll go into RCA 2, which is a mixture of hydrochloric and hydrogen peroxide. That's supposed to go after metal ions. So, see that? Some spraying, some dribbling. Alright, not very interesting. Okay, 3 cycles of quick dump rinse are done. Now, RCA 2. It's bubbling nicely. You can't see it, but it is. And get these wafers clean. $10 minutes in there, and then QDR, and then HF again, and then QDR, and then we're done. And then we go straight into the furnace to activate the implant. So we're going to do an oxidation at 1000 degrees C. That's going to activate the implant, and then presumably we'll have proper semiconducting devices. Okay, now it's time to come out of the bin, or out of RCA 2. QDR, then back into HF, then the QDR. This is very time consuming and somewhat annoying because it's just enough time to where I can't go and do anything else in between these steps. So I'm standing here bored for, 7 minutes. I feel like I'm wasting time. Alright, bubbling away nicely. Okay, now QDR it again. Alright, so now I can turn this bath off. These baths won't actually empty until which they're one-time use. And you can't empty them until they cool off. And the software won't let you. So, I stand here for 5 minutes while the QDR runs yet again. I'm draining the bath, and I'm gonna kick on the plenum flush. I put some city water in there. Now this all goes down to our let me show you the controllers here. So this all goes down to our acid waste neutralization system. So here's the controller getting emptied. Turn on plenum flush, which flushes everything with the plenum below with city water. So let me take a look. Oh, steamy, but it's empty. All right, so now yeah, so this is nice. Now I got something to do in between these steps. So now I'm gonna rinse this out. All right, looks pretty drained. And we're good until next time. Turn that drain off, turn the power off. All right. Hey, quick dump rinse is done. Yay. All right. Basically done. Now it's done. Okay. Here we go. Got the wafers out, little baby wafer. And now we go back into the BOE. And again, we wait 10 minutes. Alright. Then we come out of the BOE, one more QDR, and then we're going straight to the furnace. Which I guess I can probably go ahead and get the furnace coming up to temperature. Yeah, I need to go check on the furnace. Okay, just real quick, last step. Coming out of the HF, going on the QDR. Okay. They've been in 10 minutes. QDR comes out, and we're done. Then we go over to the furnace, and my mic's about to die. So that's all I got to say about RCA cleaning.